Hi, friends. I just finished reading a book called Miss Terri, and it was about a woman who went to Morocco back in the early 1900s as a single missionary. She was the daughter of a Jewish businessman from New York uh, and the socialite from Boston. And they lost all of their money and had to go to Little Falls, Minnesota, where Miss Terri, Maud Carey, was born, and her brother. And then off they went to uh, Kansas after being in Little Falls, Minnesota, where she grew up in Kansas, went to a gospel union mission, gospel mission union, that's what it is, school in Emporia, Kansas. And she got the call to go overseas to Morocco. She was a very courageous young woman. I think she was 19 years old when she left. And the book for me was a real inspiration. There were some tough parts of it to read through, how hard her mission coworkers were on her. They detected pride in her and called her out for her haughtiness. She repented of that, but was so sad, so touched and sad about it that she almost decided to go home. But the Lord kept her there. And she had a failed relationship with a fellow missionary. Very, very sad situation. Again, she was heartbroken because it didn't work out. And she decided to stay in Morocco even after that failed relationship. The next part is her persistence. This is back in the day when, of course, there were only ways across the ocean on a boat or a steamer. And later on in her life, I think she did fly a couple of times. She died in 1967. Interesting things to me were that she died of pemphigus, which is a horrible blister-like disease that seems to be related to Semitic people. Now, her father was Jewish, so that makes sense. Her demise was not quick. She had one very terrible setback, and then she went back to Morocco. When she came down with it again, when the disease broke out on her body, it's kind of like a blister on your body. She did go back to the United States, and she was losing her mind at that point, becoming a little more affected by dementia. So she was unable to go to Morocco or stay in Morocco. The other part that was interesting to me, several years back, I'm not sure how I got connected with a missionary couple by the name of Bob and Doris Schneider. But we received their mission letter for many, many years. And she was Miss Carey or Miss Terri. Her name was Maud Carey, Cary, but she went by Miss Terri because that's what the Arab population, the Berber population of Morocco called her. That's what they heard when they found out her name. She was one of the teachers of Arabic to the Schneider couple. And I just find that interesting to have a little connection there personally. So it was a very good book. I picked it up at the Goodwill because I'm a Goodwill book buyer. I laugh because I guess that Marie Kondo from the little Japanese book on ordering your life is now a major deal on some sort of television network. And I'm not sure how that is, but I did read the book. And she talks about having no more than 30 books. Well, I think I probably have more like 300,000 books in this house, and I'm not exaggerating. Maybe not that many, but I have a lot of books, and I like to buy books, and I like to read books. And so I've got quite the stack right behind me here in the living room. And Ones I'm tackling today are Mao, M-A-O, The Little Known Story by Sarah Young, I think is the person who, no, not Sarah Young. Let me see. Let me get that book. Sorry, Yung Chang. Yung Chang is the name of, she wrote Wild Swans, which I read many, many years ago and very much enjoyed. And this, I've read the first 2 chapters of Mao, and it's quite the book. Also, I did get a chance to read Johnny and Ken, or Ken and Johnny, the love story about Johnny Erickson Tada and her husband. Very, very good. I totally recommend it. It was 99 cents on Kindle. So if you're interested in a quick read, that was a very good book. And I'm about to begin Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee. I have heard about that book for many, many years, and I decided it's time to read it, especially with the research that I'm doing now with the Native American peoples and the rune stone that was found in Alexandria, Minnesota, or near Alexandria, Minnesota, in the past century. So that's intrinsically connected to also the Native American peoples that lived in this area, and black elk was mentioned as a possible source for figuring out what's going on with that, the background of the runestone archaeologically. And I've been reading Black Elk Speaks, and I've got a couple of other books about black elk, but I'm thinking I want to read Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee because he was quite young when that happened. Actually, that was the first situation there. So I need to get up on some of this American Indian history. It's very interesting to me, and I need a framework to deal with it. So lots of reading, lots of fun books, and maybe when I get back, finish with the Mao book, I will give a report. Those are the 3 big books, but I've been reading quite a few quick reads too. So always interesting. Miss Terry's quite small. It was published by Day of Discovery, I think. Or no, I can't think of the name of it. Yeah, I think it was Day of Discovery, a publishing, it was a radio program back years ago. So this is Corgi Hollows signing off, and we'll look forward to giving you another book review at some point. Thanks.